Alright, so the first event of UFC 2026 just ended a few hours ago, and the first ever Paramount card. Late since I'm in Pacific time, so I could not really watch the early prelims and prelim cards, but I did watch Gautier versus Andre. It was pretty good, although I'm not gonna talk much about it. I wanted to talk about all the fights, major fights that happened, and basically where they might end up this year. So, starting off without any further ado, Umar versus Figueiredo. I felt like Umar was just bigger, and this fight was, I would say, very lackluster. The other fight of Umar was much better, like which was last year, and I feel that this fight doesn't really prove anything. But I do feel Umar, as I said, is up there along with Merab and Peter, and I feel like these three are the top three, and the others are at least a level below. So my predictions, first of all, for Figueredo is that he might go back to flyweight, or he might just be, you know, bottom half or top 10, but like not top 5, between 6 to 10. I believe he can improve, but I don't see much more of it. Umar, I believe that he can have a run at a title. He can have a shot. Like he can surely beat Son O'Malley or Song Yadong quite easily. But with Marab, he might have a pretty close match. But I feel like Peter Yan would go undefeated this year, and I feel Peter would beat Umar. Going on to the main card, first one was Arnold Allen versus John Silver, which was quite a matchup. And yeah, John Silva really performed his best, although Arnold also performed really good. I feel like John Silva is still underrated, although people had overhyped him. I feel like his loss to Diego Lopez doesn't really prove much because Diego Lopez is, I feel, top one or top two contender in the featherweight division. So I believe John Silva can move up quite a bit, considering the fact that where did that go? Considering the fact that he beat number six, I think he can go up till number three. I'm not sure the size difference between Yair and how John Silva will play out, but I feel like he could be the top three. I don't think he beats Lopez or Evloev, but yeah. Going on, I didn't really watch this match because I had some personal work. Waldo versus Derek. I feel like Derek is on his retirement time, and might be he won't be really fighting that much anymore. And Waldo is on his streak. He's on his winning streak, and he has pretty much proven that he is a knockout artist. And if you look at the heavyweight division, there's not much left for him. There's not much left. I feel like he can have a rematch with Sergey, maybe fight Volkov, but he is. I feel like he could be the number one contender. I feel he might be able to beat everyone in the division. So let's see how Aspinall's thing play out. If he can retain the belt, but if Aspinall retires, Tom Aspinall retires, then I would love to see a championship fight between Cyril Gane and Waldo. Going on, Son O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This was very close. I was rooting for Song, and he almost had it. It was just like it was a decision. It was 29-28, and I feel like Song could have got it, but in the last round, he did not really like prove himself in that last round. The thing is, he really he fights in a way where he just gives everything into all his rounds, and he doesn't have that much cardio to keep up for all three rounds. So 5 rounds would have been kind of a disaster for him. But I feel like he can improve much. Taking notes from Merab and everything. But yeah, so Son won the fight, but it doesn't really prove anything. For bantamweight, as I said, the top three are already fixed: Peter Yan, Merab, and Umar. So it doesn't matter whatever happens below. I did have hopes that Song might prove himself to compare himself with the three, but it was not so. So yeah, Finally, the main event: Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. So it was an awesome fight, and it was a striking masterclass. But I would say, like, Justin Gaethje, although he is now the interim champion, I don't think either of them compares to Ilya in terms of striking, and neither of them compares to Arman in terms of grappling. So the top two of lightweight is again fixed with Ilya and Arman, and maybe Charles. And I think Charles beat both of them, and I think even Max Holloway beats both of them. So this fight was kind of the weirdest championship fight because there are like four people who can beat both of them. But props to Justin Gaethje, again the interim champion. He really deserves it. All the best for him. Moving on to my predictions for UFC 325, I'll make it quick. First thing first, Sakil versus Jamie. Sakil, the knockout artist, he beat two people, Ansu Jabli and the bakery guy. And then there's Jamie, who I've not really heard much about. I know he's another Australian, but I just saw his career and it wasn't really much of a thing. I feel like the reason why it's in the main card is that after this fight, Killian gets a top 15 fight. And I feel like he deserves it. I believe he is a great striker and he should get a chance at the top 15. Moving on, Tai Tuivasa versus Teixeira. So quite a lackluster fight, to be honest. Is on his downfall, and Teixeira hasn't really proved himself that much. He won a fight, he lost a fight. He's like 1-1 in UFC right now. But I believe Tuivasa's downfall is much deeper, so I'll just say Teixeira takes the win. Doesn't really mean much for the division. Now coming on, we got two fighters that fought, and Fiziev versus Rufi. So Fiziev is really good. I mean, he is really good. He lost to Justin Gaethje. He beat Bahamondes, and he is actually really good. Doesn't The loss to Justin Gaethje didn't mean much. And Rufi, I feel like he might be the lowest of the fighting nerds. I'm gonna give this to Fiziev because he's just a better fighter in every single way. Dan Hooker versus BSD. Dan Hooker is a tough guy, and he's one of the best strikers ever in lightweight division. But then also has his downfall going on, and BSD is actually on his rise right now. So I would have to give it to BSD. Looking at the rankings, BSD might move up a bit, and then let's see how it goes. He might move up to top five, but he also doesn't have the championship, like the champion potential. So finally, the main event: Volkanovski versus Lopez. So this is very weird because Diego Lopez is undeservedly getting the title shot again because it should have been above Mobsar. And I believe that Mobsar versus Alex would have been the fight to make. Diego Lopez, he proved himself with his fight against Son Silva. But the thing is, Lopez, it was a close fight with Alex. It could still go to Lopez with his really striking and power with him. But I believe that Alex gets it done again because I don't see Diego just outwitting him because Alex, he has tricks in his pockets. So yeah, I feel like Alex takes this one, and maybe after this they decide that Mobsar could have a match against could have the title shot against Volk, or maybe Volk retires and Lopez versus Mobsar gets to be the championship fight. But for me, the predictions would be Alex takes this fight again at decision, nothing else. No knockout, no submission. At a decision, Alex takes it. So yeah, this is my predictions for the UFC 325. Hype for this card, and let's see.